right, welcome back into Cherry Pickin Week 6 of the NHL Fantasy Hockey season. We got 4 must-add players this week, but before we get into that, I want to talk about OwnersBox and OwnersBox NHL DFS contest. OwnersBox houses some of the best NHL daily fantasy sports contests on the market right now, especially for people in Ontario. And we have a brand new game that's new to the market, Lightning Lineups. The community has loved it so far, so be sure to check it out. The link will be in the description to sign up. You can get deposit match bonus up to $500 on your first deposit and a free $10 entry into an NHL DFS contest and your first Lightning Lineups contest. So let's get into it here. Our first one, I might be a little bit late on this player, but I think he's obviously still widely available. 41% rostered in Yahoo leagues, 19% rostered in ESPN leagues, and that's Kirby Dach on the Montreal Canadiens. He has 7 points in his last 4 games, and his ice time just continues to increase as this first line that St. Louis has put together is just on absolute fire. You have Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, and now Kirby Dach on the wing instead of being at center. I think that's a great move from St. Louis. One of the biggest negatives to Kirby Dach coming into this league, and since he was with Chicago, was his inability to win faceoffs. So now on the wing on this line with Suzuki handling most of the faceoffs, that burden is off of him. But he played a season high in minutes in their last overtime win against the Penguins, and he's producing solid numbers all over the ice, really. He only has 4 goals and doesn't shoot a ton, but when you're on this line with Cole Caulfield, it's kind of hard to take a good majority share of the shots with a guy like Cole Caulfield who shoots the puck a ton and is just a goal scorer. But he does create scoring opportunities. He leads the team in assists per 60 minutes at 2.5. He leads the team in actual assists with 10, and he has the highest on-ice goals percentage on this team at 69%. So he's on the ice for goals, which is what you want when you're looking for guys to pick up on the waiver wire. He's always been more of a passer, so don't really get your hopes up if he's going to score 30 or 40 goals. This was evident in the WHL when he played with Saskatoon. He's just always been an assist guy. This line doesn't really show any signs of slowing down. St. Louis loves this line. Kirby Dach's a must-add this week if he's still available in your league. All right, next guy we're going to be looking at is a defenseman on the Boston Bruins. It's not Hampus Lindholm, obviously. It's not Charlie McAvoy. It's actually Connor Clifton. He's 36% rostered, in Yahoo leagues, 12% rostered in ESPN leagues. So you're seeing a trend here. People in the ESPN leagues obviously have a little bit of an advantage picking up these players. But if you're in a bangers league especially, he is a must-add in my opinion. He plays on the second D pair with Hampus Lindholm, who's been phenomenal to start the year. Great addition last season for the Boston Bruins coming over from the Anaheim Ducks. He's averaging almost 22 minutes of ice time per game, Clifton is, and he's third on the team in possible share of ice time at 35%. The return of McAvoy almost sparked Clifton in a way, which you might think is a little weird, but he has 2 goals and 3 points in his last 3 games. And going back to the point of being so useful in a bangers league, he leads the team in block shots with 25 and hits with 48. He has 30 shots on goal as well, which is still not bad for a guy who's doing pretty much everything on the ice. He doesn't play on the power play, which hurts his value a little bit, but he does play on the penalty kill, which adds to that kind of ability to just flourish in bangers leagues. For a guy that's 36% rostered, you can't get too greedy, really. You can't ask him to do absolutely everything, so power play points is just the one thing you're not going to get with Connor Clifton. But the one good thing, let's say the Bruins have an off night, this guy will still fill the stat sheet with blocks, hits, and shots on goal. So Connor Clifton is a guy you should be looking out for in your waiver wire. All right, so the third guy that we're going to be adding this week is Jason Zucker on the Pittsburgh Penguins. I led you guys in the wrong direction, maybe with Denton Heinen in week 2 or 3. But I think Jason Zucker has a much better shelf life with this team. He's on the second line right now with Evgeny Malkin, and he's playing great. And to be honest, I can't say I really envisioned this guy to be on this list or this show at any point of the season, but here we are. So Zucker's been great in the 13 games he's played so far this year. He's at a point per game. Like I mentioned, he's playing with Evgeny Malkin. The rotating other winger has been between Rickard Rakell and Brian Rust. But Malkin looks to have a little bit of a pep in his step this season, and we've seen it kind of been very advantageous to Jason Zucker this year for sure. He currently leads the team in points per 60 minutes right now at 4. That's a very high number, and we've seen his ice time slowly creep up game by game. That is until the last game where they played the Habs, but he only played 13 minutes of ice time, and he had 3 assists. So this guy has been very, very efficient so far, and with only 4 goals, you might think, you might be a little concerned, might be a little scared, might think it's a similar situation to Kirby Dach, but it's actually a little bit better than Kirby Dach. Kirby Dach might produce a little bit more in the assist column. Zucker's shooting percentage right now is 11. Kirby Dach's is around 17 or 18%. So if he gets that shooting percentage up a couple notches, 13 or 14, and if he continues to average 3 shots per game, 3 shots on goal per game. You're looking at easily a 50-point season, I think, for Jason Zucker here on this Pittsburgh team that's going to continue to score a lot of goals with how bad their back end has been so far this year. He's on the second power play line as well. And as I mentioned, whether it's Rickard Rakell or Brian Rust, this second line with Evgeny Malkin has been great this year, and in most games has actually produced better than the top line. All right, the last and final guy for must add this week is Arthur Kaliyev. So this is maybe a little bit of a deeper dive, maybe trying to just get ahead of the curve here on Kaliyev, but he's 14% rostered in Yahoo leagues, 5% rostered in ESPN leagues. The Kings have been waiting for this kid to break out, and I think this might be his season. He's a big, solid forward at 6'2". He has a great shot and has great offensive instincts, and this was very evident when he played in the OHL. His last 2 seasons with Hamilton, scored 200 points in 124 games. That's a big number, numbers that you see usually guys who really start to produce in the NHL as well. And right now he's playing just 11 minutes per game, and he's posted 6 goals and 13 points. That's awesome to see. 6 of his points have actually come on the power play as well. Currently plays on the second power play at the point next to Sean Durzi. And other than him and Trevor Moore, those are the 2 go-to guys in terms of goals on that power play line. He's bounced around forward lines a little bit, but I could see Todd McLellan giving him a little bit more trust, extending his leash a little bit, maybe moving up on the depth chart because of his recent performances. I feel like his last 11 games, he's a point per game. He has 11 games, 11 points. He's tied with Gabriel Velarde right now in expected goals per 60 at 1.45. Anything that's being compared to Gabriel Velarde, I think at this point of the season, it's great to see. He leads the team in goals, and he's been phenomenal as well to start the year. And his on-ice goals percentage is 66. That leads the team. That's huge as well. So keep an eye on his ice time with how Todd McLellan is going to be putting him in this roster. But I think right now Arthur Kaliyev is a must-add, so pick him up before that is too late. So that's 4 guys for must-add Week 6 of fantasy hockey. We got Arthur Kaliyev, Jason Zucker, Connor Clifton, and Kirby Dach. 4 great guys I think you could be adding right now. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. Let me know what you guys think of these must-adds this week, who you're looking to drop, other guys that you have questions about. I'm here to answer your questions, and I'll see you guys on the next show.